to keep swinging. So as we get this game, you got to get them on their heels. And, they came back from 10 points down in the fourth quarter to win in one of their football games too. So, we have to do that and play great complementary football and making sure we're taking care of the ball, because obviously games get away from you when you turn the ball over.
All right, Coach, we're going to give you a break.
Okay.
And Devin, you're on.
We might need a couple extra segments, Dan.
We could, hey.
You can talk up here. It'll be good.
We can pivot.
Okay.
We can hit the curveball if that's what we need to do. But we'll go out reminding everybody, home games are coming, right? Yep. 2 more left. Upgrade your tailgate with Little Richard's Barbecue. We were there today. Where's Neil? Where's Neil Bishop? There he is, part of our Wake Forest Sports Properties team. His last day with us is tomorrow.
Oh,
I know.
Come on, let's give a round of applause for Neil. All right, where's he headed?
We're losing Neil. He's got a great opportunity. He's got a young family, and this is a great opportunity for him. I hate to lose him. But we had a little going-away lunch today.
Okay, Little Richard's.
And we picked Little Richard's Barbecue, so we pounded down the barbecue there. Tip of the cap to you, sir. We love you. We miss you, and I know Wake. And he was with the ticket office, I think, before he came with us. So at any rate, Neil, we love you, and
Thanks,
we
Neil.
appreciate everything you've done for us. And we'll see you down the road. He'll be back for every game. Anyway, back to Little Richard's. Again, this is new. You can pre-order all your favorite Little Richard's menu items. Pick it up on site at a Legacy Stadium as you upgrade your tailgates. The orders are hot, ready to go. It's available at every home game, 2 left, as you know. Let Little Richard's handle the tailgate menu so you can focus on the game day fun. Little Richard's Barbecue, your winning tailgate starts here. All right, timeout, and when we come back, Mr. Kalani is next as you listen to Wake Football from Learfield.
At Vibe, we design spaces where people heal, learn, and work, whether it's surgery centers, libraries, or residence halls. As respected partners of Wake Forest University and Wake Forest Athletics, we're creating environments where champions are made on and off the field. From the classroom to the locker room, our team brings out the best in yours. Ready to elevate your game? Visit vibedesign.com. That's Vibe with 2 I's. Vibe, creating environments for well-being.
Hey there, food lovers. If you're looking for a dining experience that's both delicious and local, check out Sage and Salt Bistro. They use fresh, locally sourced ingredients to create amazing house-made dishes from scratch. Don't forget to explore their award-winning wine list and craft cocktails, perfect companions to your meal. And at their second location, The Station at Sage and Salt, you can enjoy live jazz and blues every Friday and Saturday night from 7 to 10 p.m. Visit sageandsaltbistro.com to make a reservation today and taste the difference local makes.
The home of the Deeks.
Intercepted by Wake Forest at the 32-yard line.
This is Wake Forest football from Learfield.
Hey everyone, this is Tate Carney, running back with the Wake Forest football team. In a football game, you have to assess the situation, call the right play, and then execute. That same strategy applies to your home's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems. Just like in a game, the Sutton Brothers expert technicians will assess your situation, determine the correct game plan, and then fix the problem. So remember that when you need help, Sutton Brothers is there to diagnose, game plan, and fix your issues for the win.
Pass is going to be caught after a battle at the 20, down to the 10, 5, touchdown, Wake Forest!
Hey, Deke fans, it's your coach, Jake Dickert here. As you prepare for the tailgate season, remember to bring along some Pepsi. There is something special about tailgating in Deketown with your friends, eating some great food, and drinking some ice-cold Pepsi. It's the perfect way to get ready to cheer on the team to victory. Go Deeks!
Wake Forest tailgating is always better with Pepsi.
Jake Dickert Show.
30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, pay dirt.
It's time now for tonight's Play of the Week. Presented by WXLV ABC 45.
7 minutes to go. No eye here. 3 Deacons wide left. That's the field. Tight into the right. Here's the snap. Purdy waits. Looks looks left, throws toward the end zone. It is caught. Micah Mays, touchdown, and Wake off the snide with 6:49 to go in the game. Micah Mays scores his 4th career touchdown, 2nd of 2025, and the Deacons finally, after a turnover, get it in the end zone.
There you go. ABC 45 play of the game brought to you by ABC 45 News, giving you more coverage and dedication to what matters to you. And no wait weather with Jonathan Went, ABC 45 News, standing up for you. All right, as promised, Devin Kalani is here, the pride of Lake Stevens, Washington. And before we get going here, I was reading about Lake Stevens today, and there was a story about this old tale of a locomotive in the bottom of the lake there. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't spend much time on the lake. But
have you heard that tale?
No, sir.
You haven't heard that tale?
No.
If you look up your hometown on Wikipedia, that's part of it. And the rumor was there was an old locomotive at the bottom of a train car at the bottom of the lake. That was the rumor, right? And apparently the Navy, some SEALs went down there, and there is one down there.
I believe it. I mean, you never know what to expect from Lake Stevens, Washington.
Now, okay, you say you believe it. Why would you believe that there's a locomotive in the bottom of the lake where you live? Why would you say I wouldn't doubt it?
Lake Stevens got a lot of everything. You know, it's a little bit north of Seattle, so we got your country and we got your city folk. And if you tell me there's a locomotive at the bottom of the lake,
you'll believe it.
If the Navy confirms it, then yes, sir.
That's what and of course, it's on the internet, so don't, you can't believe my phone's ringing. They want to talk to you. This is not a call-in show. But anyway, I want to know, when you were growing up in Washington State, when you were like 10, 12, 14, did you think then you were a college football player? How did you see yourself?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I was always.
And where did you want to play?
I was always in love with football. You get a kindergarten photo of me with a little whiteboard saying I'm going to grow up to be a football player. So check. But growing up in Washington, my aunt and uncle, they're diehard Coug fans, and they raised me to be a fan of Washington State. So that was definitely my dream school, so having that opportunity was really special.
So you were there, and you kind of plodded your way along, didn't you? I mean, you played on special teams and this, that, and the other. You kind of paid your dues, right? And Coach talked about it a little bit, and finally kind of you were the guy kind of anchoring the middle of that line. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it's a long process. The 5 years of college and, growing up at Coug, it was all to finally get on that field as a center. And I did a little bit of that when Coach Dickert was D coordinator, and then when he was the head coach, he continued to see me work, and here we are in North Carolina doing it.
He's a defensive guy, right?
Oh, at heart, for sure.
Right? Yeah. So you being an offensive guy, how did you two, connect? I know he was your coach, but what's the...
I think, true freshman year, you're on scout team, and you're going against his defense.
Okay.
And he's like, that Kalani kid definitely got something. I wasn't in the offices, but I'm sure he noticed it. And it's just, he sees my love for the game, and he appreciated it, so yeah.
Why are you... Devin, a glue guy? Why do the guys in the locker room, especially here at Wake, you hadn't been there that long, and they elect you captain? Was that a humbling thing for you?
It was special. I do believe I am a good leader, and I've worked on it a lot, but I am a big guy, and I like to protect people, but I also love people. So, I love to talk to people, whether they're Deke fans or teammates. So, getting into a new locker room, first step was getting to know everybody. From Will Cobb to Aiden Hall, you got to get to know everyone. So that's where it started, and just being myself, I think it really paid off. And yeah.
Well, you picked out a couple of guys that have been here.
Yes, sir.
Right? Dekes. I mean, they're
you pick out the Dekes, and you also got to get to know Jaden Lovin and some of the other transfers, Lakes and Hardy. But
what is that like when this new age of college football where seemingly every year just you have to kind of start over. You got a new family. Everybody's got to kind of do this, come together.
It takes time.
Yeah,
of course, it takes time. Whether that's showing up early or just competing against each other in the workouts from winter, and it just takes time really to get to know everybody. You don't have the 5 years to build relationships and be with those guys on the scout team, and then eventually you're starting with them. But it was good.
How do you like the South?
The South is good,
Again, growing up in the Pacific Northwest,
lots of trees.
Lots of trees. What's your take on the South here and how how's it? What's the biggest way it's different than where you grew up?
There's good people here, and that's one thing you definitely notice. Everyone you meet is good, and not like nobody's mean up north, but it's very nice. And I get around town well. The food's good, from east of Texas to Putters or Pulliam's, so it's a good place.
Have you had the chicken tenders here?
I have not. I got the burger.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I wish you would have told me that before the show.
Hashtag get the tenders, man. They're like, there's 3 of them, and they're like that. I mean, come back here.
I will.
I'll foot the bill for you. We'll come back together, and you'll get the tenders.
Yes, sir.
And anyway, all right. We're going to take a quick time out. On the other side, we'll talk a little bit more with Devin and see if he's got any skinny on Virginia and figure out a way how to beat those guys up there. So we'll take a quick time out. We'll have more with this Deacon captain on the other side as you listen to Wake Forest football from Learfield.
When it comes to local news, you can rely on ABC 45 News, there to cover your story.
Just had to take a stand. We should be compensated way more than we are.
There to get you answers.
It still leaves so much anxiety because it's like we don't know what happened.
There in your community.
We need to help out the people in our community who are struggling.
And there with your no-wait weather.
This area is producing some severe weather tonight.
ABC 45 News, weeknights at 6 and 11, standing up for you.
The fans came out today, David.
That's right, Gabe. Big games mean bigger tailgates.
Check out that Ford F-150 truck, a championship caliber performance.
Oh, flawless execution, Gabe. Smart, powerful, and with available Pro Power on board, F-150 just took this tailgate over the top.
Game on, David. For the latest offers on Ford F-150, go to buyfordnow.com to see your Carolina Ford dealer today. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Go Deeks.
Into the clear, 10-5, and touchdown.
This is the Wake Forest Sports Network from Learfield.
Claiborne, Wildcat, takes the snap, hands the ball left, and throw downfield pass caught by Claiborne at the 10, 5, touchdown, Wake Forest. What a play by the Deeks. Razzle dazzle into the north end zone.
Hey, Deke fans, Coach Jake Dickert here. Looking for the ultimate game day spot? Head to Miller's Sports Bar on Robin Hood, where the wings are hot, the beer is cold, and every seat has a view. Catch all the action, all the time, only at Miller's.
Motion to the right, Claiborne gets it, boom, touchdown. That was emphatic.
Wake Forest football returns to a legacy stadium on Saturday, November 22nd to battle it out with Delaware. Limited tickets remain. Order yours today at godeeks.com/tickets. We'll see you at a legacy stadium on Saturday, November 22nd as the Deacons take on the Fightin' Blue Hens. Go Deeks!
Welcome back to the Jake Dickert Show. Want your question answered by the coach? Our inbox is available at wakeradio@learfield.com or tweet at Stan Cotton WF. Now back to your host, Stan Cotton.
A few more minutes here with Wake Forest center Devin Kalani, Washington State transfer from Lake Stevens, Washington. Al always sends in the question, what your favorite class of your college career?
Ooh. I had a really good professor for, it was MIS 250. You really just learned about a lot of the stuff we're using up here, different chords, different aux chords. And my favorite thing about it was if you showed up to class and you said something to the professor or provided, some growth to the course.
Showed some initiative.
And turned in the assignments on time.
Yeah.
You'd fare off pretty well. So
life's not hard.
No. You just got to show up and love what
show
you're doing.
up and do what you're asked to do. Yeah, I get it. Your take on Virginia and what you and your group are up against. Tell me about the Cavalier front guys.
Yeah, they're a good group of guys. They play hard together.
Bunch of sacks.
They're obviously ranked high in the conference, but it's going to come down to what we do and not who they are.
How much do you know about the game last year?
Not much, sir. I know it was a close one.
31-30. They scored a couple of touchdowns in the fourth quarter to come back and get us. So we got, things are different. Teams are different, but still, got to go up there and get them, right? What your take on your team right now? Coming off the Florida State weekend didn't go as planned, but you play long enough, that happens, right? So now you just got to keep going and head up and try to knock them off, right?
Eventually, the cards aren't always going to be dealt in your favor, and sometimes when you get punched in the mouth, you got to stand back up, and I think that's what we're ready to show off.
So when are you going to decide to hang up the cleats? I mean, you want to try at the next level? You want to go right into something else? What do you think you want to do?
I'll go until the wheels fall off. So whenever that is.
Don't go that far.
Well, I get a lot of advice like that.
One day you'll be old like me, and you'll want to have good legs under you, right?
Yeah, I think we're past that. So.
Okay. Well, what is it? And Coach mentioned you might want to coach. You've said a little bit about that. Elaborate some more on that with why that might be your choice.
I love football, and that's why I play center, because I understand it so well, and I do love football. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be an educator. Whether it's teaching people about football and the correct way to play it, and teaching people about life, or being a math teacher and helping them in that aspect. Any way I can be an educator and help someone, that's what I'm going to do. And right now it is definitely looking like it's going to be in the football world, but for now we are a football player. So.
Well, there you go. And you're a football player with that beard thing going on. And Coach said your mom might be watching, so she's look right at her.
She has to have been messaging him, because she definitely is telling me to shave it.
So she's opting. She wants it off.
Well, she just wants it trimmed up.
How long has that thing been going?
Since I cut my hair off. I used to have some long locks, and when I decided that I was going to cut the hair off the top of my head, I was going to start growing out the beard. So.
It would have been a pretty cool thing had we just shaved that beard on the live tonight.
Well, if we had the supplies, we could.
Oh, we could probably find them by the time we get off the air. I mean, that would be pretty cool, but maybe next time.
Of course.
Maybe
I get those chicken tenders.
Yeah, that's right. We'll bring you back. Maybe we'll have tenders, and then we'll do that. But we're going to take a timeout. Coach is ready to come back. He's just sitting on go, wanting to answer some more questions. But listen, Devin, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Best of luck in Charlottesville. We'll see you there on Saturday night.
Let's go. Go Deeks.
There you go. All right. Wake Captain Devin Kalani. We'll take a quick timeout. More on the other side as you listen to the Jake Dickert Show from Learfield.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Caller, what's your question for the coach?
Last week, I noticed Wake played better when I stood on one leg, faced the quad, and drank a glass of the finest Pepsi. So for this week's game, should I drink my Pepsi in the first quarter to bring the Deeks luck early or late so we finish strong? Coach, I'm hoping you'll say both, but I wanted to ask because when I drink Pepsi obviously impacts our games. Thanks, and go Deeks!
Pepsi, proud partners of Demon Deacons football and believers in Lucky fans everywhere. Pepsi, made for football watching. Go Deeks!
The Deeks live here.
Got it. Touchdown, Wake Forest.
This is the Wake Forest Sports Network from Learfield.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift. It lets them dream just for a bit.
Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, Christine Yard, courtside seats, fancy meats, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hungry for something new and unforgettable? Sage and Salt Bistro has you covered. Check out Sage and Salt Bistro's latest edition, Tuscany by Sage and Salt, a northern Italian steakhouse serving homemade pasta and premium cuts of beef. From exciting weekly specials to their latest culinary venture, there's always a reason to come back. Whether it's Sage and Salt Bistro, The Station, or Tuscany, you're in for a world-class local dining experience. Visit sageandsaltbistro.com and plan your next night out today.
Listening to the Jake Dickert Show. Ask your question to the head coach of the Deeks right now. Email your questions to wakeradio@learfield.com. Now back to the voice of the Deeks, Stan Cotton.
Okay, rolling along. Time is leaving us quarter to the hour. And thanks again for Devin coming out. He was a lot of fun. We'll have to get him back here somehow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by R.J. Young, your playbook for more than just copiers. Their cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, and managed IT and AV technology for your organization. Schedule your free consultation right now. You can do it. rjyoung.com/Wake Forest. All right, Coach, a little bit about the Virginia defense now. Your take on, we heard a little bit from Devin about it, but what's your take on the Cavaliers there?
Well, I think Dev alluded to it. He's 100% right. I mean, they are completely revamped because I did watch last year's game. And, yeah, I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, and I'll get to your question in a second, but to see how much we've evolved, just kind of watching, that defense and how much it's changed. And, they had some good play calling in the end to finish. But I would say the biggest change in their football team is the defensive line. They went out and got a bunch of these big, long pass rushers. I mean, you see UNLV, you see Ohio State, you see Tennessee Tech, you see Elon, you see a bunch of guys that really have a big role, right, in a specific role, right? So, 90 and 91 on the interiors are the big pluggers, and then pass rush, here comes 23, and he's a Fresno State transfer. I mean, 17 is literally 6'7", or 14, 6'7". I mean, there's just a lot of different blends of skill sets, and 5, who actually I have learned is Damon Claiborne's cousin, okay, their best linebacker. He was out the first 3 games, and ever since then, all he's done is being the leading tackler on the team without being there for 3 games. So
how do we isolate him on Damon? That's what I want to know.
I was getting some of the scoop on him, and Damon's like, ooh, if I can get him one-on-one in space, we're going to be good.
That's right.
I was like, Damon, that's everybody, right? Yeah. You get somebody one-on-one on space. So they've been playing just really good as a unit, I would say. And then obviously you get 16 takeaways. I think they have 3 defensive touchdowns. I mean, they're doing some big playmaking on that side of the ball. And, so we're going to have to be consistent. And we got to drive the football, Stan. I think that's the biggest thing. When the last time we had a sustained drive, we've had some explosive plays here and there, but we got to drive the football. We got to move the chains, and we got to find ways to finish in the red zone against a really good defensive unit.
Coach Bill, with a question, he says Virginia has been so good at takeaways. How critical is that this week? We've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think as a coach, you just watch. Okay, how are they happening? Okay, it always happens when you can affect the passer. We just talked about the defensive line. They're affecting the opposing team's quarterbacks, and they're making terrible decisions. But also, you can see a well-trained, tactical outfit where, our ball carriers, and we talked about it last week, and these guys are ripping and stripping at the football. So our guys have to be, in a high capacity, being very technical and detailed to carrying the ball. And, that's got us a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Like playing the game that gets lost in it, like Chris Barnes has the first down. They strip him of the ball. It goes back, and then it's, 4th and 1. We get a false start. We end up losing the possession, and those are the big moments in a football game.
We are talking Wake Forest football with the coach of the Deacs, Jake Dickert, and our focus on defense right now presented by our friends at Mountcastle Insurance, proudly protecting the Triad with trusted coverage since 1890. We're going to take one final timeout. By the way, we're talking about the stream that you guys are watching. It's being produced tonight by Tegan Sparks over here.
Yeah, let's give Tegan a round of applause. Yeah. Doing a great job.
Pretty soon, Tim, his dad's going to be out of a job, and Tegan's going to be running the whole dang show.
Yes.
So anyway, we appreciate Tegan, who he's on the sideline on Saturdays holding microphone too.
There we go.
With his brother Caden. So the Sparks guys are all over this thing.
I love it.
We appreciate all of them, and also Barron back in our studios. All right, final timeout. Come back. We'll have some questions. Talk about a reset as the Deacs head to UVA on Saturday. We're back with that after this as you listen to Wake Forest football from Learfield.
Fall is finally upon us, and that means football season, pumpkin spice, bugs, and rodents. There's a chill in the air, and that means pests like roaches, rodents, and wildlife will be out in full force. Luckily, you can trust the pros at Stark Exterminators to keep your home, business, and tailgate pest-free. The professionals at Stark understand that it is not just any property, it is your home or business, and they will inspect, identify, and then treat with a solution that is customized for you. Schedule your free pest inspection today. Call 855-STARK now or visit StarkExterminators.com.
Hey, Demon Deacon fans, are you ready to level up your tailgate? This season, Little Richard's Barbecue is teaming up with Wake Forest Athletics to bring the tailgate straight to you. You can now pre-order your tailgate meal, and Little Richard's will have it hot, fresh, and ready for pickup at a Legacy Stadium when you arrive. Elevate your game day and your taste buds with custom tailgate packages featuring all your Little Richard's favorites. Call or order online now at littlerichardsbarbecue.com. Go Deeks.
Coverage of Demon Deacon football continues after these local messages. This is Wake Forest football from Learfield.
Stan Cotton here for Roger Marion Automotive. Roger and his staff have been taking care of me and my family and our cars and trucks for years. From tune-ups to oil changes to a state inspection or that weird sound your engine's making that you can't quite figure out. Roger Marion Automotive can handle whatever issue your vehicle has and get you back on the road with confidence and at a very fair price. Roger Marion Automotive between I-40 and 421 across from West Forsyth High School. Roger Marion Automotive, the only choice for any fan of the Demon Deacons.
At Vibe, we design spaces where people heal, learn, and work, whether it's surgery centers, libraries, or residence halls. As respected partners of Wake Forest University and Wake Forest Athletics, we're creating environments where champions are made on and off the field. From the classroom to the locker room, our team brings out the best in yours. Ready to elevate your game? Visit vibedesign.com. That's Vibe with 2 I's. Vibe, creating environments for well-being.
Okay, back for our final few minutes on tonight's edition of the Jake Dickert Show. Again, it's Wake in Virginia coming up on Saturday night, 7 o'clock kick, 6 o'clock airtime. All right, on to the Greenway Village Dental question of the night. Take care of that beautiful smile because you deserve it. All right, Coach. Brian writes in. He's like, Coach, penalties, what are we doing? He wants to know about the penalties and how, what's going on there and how we can fix that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is just details of execution. Technique is very important. I think one of the biggest things you can't lose as you go throughout the season is like the technical aspect of this game, whether it's offensive line, receiver, defensive backs, whatever it is. I mean, penalties are going to stall momentum and going to, obviously offensively take away some big plays. The Melvin Ciani one, right? We sent it in. They said that probably wasn't holding. I believe, and I was talking about it earlier, the surface at Florida State with the grass was super slick. Mm-hmm. And, but Micah has his hands out here, and the guy falls down, and it appears to be holding. So, they'll always kind of shoot you in the foot. There's a bunch of different categories. I mean, we get a personal foul because Micah pulls the guy off the pile. I mean, I just think that's a natural reaction sometimes. So, but it's been momentum killers, and you can't get to this point where 8 games in and say it hasn't hurt us. It has. Our guys are just got to be focused more on some of the details in the moment. Yet, as I've always said, we got to play fast and aggressive. So we're going to go into another environment where we got to handle the noise better. That was part of the question to Dev, and we just practiced the whole week with noise, and our guys got to be ready to go. So we haven't overemphasized that. We prepared them, and our guys will be ready to handle it.
Brian, thanks for the questions as always. Coach Roger, how would you compare Virginia Tech's and Florida State's environments, and what do you anticipate will be especially difficult at Virginia?
Well, I'm not going to say anything negative about Florida State, but it wasn't all the chopping that I anticipated, and they had a good crowd, but it wasn't crazy. And Virginia Tech's deal is pretty cool as it opens up out the gate, and then it kind of fizzled out as we went. And obviously, nationally televised game. I think it's family weekend for old UVA. And, like I said, I told you about it. You're watching that Florida State environment with everybody on the hill. I mean, it's going to be challenging, but, these are the type of moments that you want to be in. So our guys will be ready to anticipate it. And I always say, you control the volume in the stadium. You control it by how you play. All right, so we got to go out there and play well, especially early, and getting ourselves off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, your point well taken in that neither Virginia Tech nor Florida State is having the kind of year that Virginia is. Yeah. And so Virginia's riding high again, 5-0 in the league and 8-1 overall.
Because the weird part is they lost to NC State, but that was non-conference, right? Exactly. So it's kind of a confusing little deal as far as putting all that stuff together.
Yeah. So, again, all that said, and we've said it 2 or 3 times, you have to anticipate loud and crazy atmosphere. And over the years, Virginia has not been that kind of a place, but I think I don't know. I think this year might be a little bit different. I think they get that they've got a chance to do something special.
And let's be honest, you look across college football, but especially look across the ACC. Anyone can beat anybody in any given week. And obviously we've proven that, but also, NC State takes down Georgia Tech and SMU rallies back to beat a good Miami team. There's just a lot of parity in our league, and I think that's what makes the ACC, in my opinion, standing on bias, right, the best league in the country, right, because of that parity. And, we'll have another opportunity to go into one of the better teams in the league and go out and pull out a victory.
Coach, this comes from the head softball coach at Pigeon Forge High School.
Where's that?
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh, great.
Near Gatlinburg. You heard of Gatlinburg?
No.
It's a ski area, which is not too far from Sevierville, which is Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Oh, so that footprint.
Okay.
And Coach Adams sends us questions from time to time. He has several paragraphs here. I'll get to the bottom one here. He says, if my memory serves me correctly, I believe we've won one coin toss this year. You can't do anything about that. But what's your philosophy on coin toss when you win it and you're given the option? Do you like the ball to start? Do you prefer the ball, in the third quarter? All those types of things.
Absolutely awesome question. Okay, yes, Nick Anderson is terrible at calling the coin flips. So
fire Nick.
We're going to have to figure that out. Now, we haven't had too many because we haven't been on the road as much, but we have been awful at winning the coin toss. So a couple years ago, very sports science, very analytical. Like, I'm into this stuff, math guy, get the books and all that stuff. They recommend to defer, right, is how they talk about it. You want to win the middle 8 of the game. You want to get the ball out of half. I'm a big believer in starting fast, right? So when I started off being the head coach, 80% of the teams that lead at halftime win the game, right? In Power 5 versus Power 4 versus Power 4 competition. So 70% of them, if you score first, win the game. So I'm like, we're taking the ball. And we did that the whole first year, and then didn't have as much success. And like, okay, how do we want to finish games better? So now I've went to deferring, but at some point in my career, I'm going to get back to taking the ball and scoring first, and that leads to that. But right now we defer every time.
And another quick question from Coach Adams. Wind factor aside, do you favor one end zone or the other at a Legacy Stadium when you pick? Yeah,
for some reason there is. Kickers are a unique animal, Stan. Okay, they just are. And we talked about that with Connor the other day, or last week. Caleb Carlson's done a phenomenal job, over 70% touchback, as one of the best in the country. He just has a better sight line when he kicks it towards the scoreboard. I think because it's open and he sees the grass, and it feels like it's wider on that side of the field. I really believe that, versus kicking it back towards Bridger, feels like a closed end, maybe like it's a little tighter. And every week before we, kick field goals or like go into the game, I tell Connor, I'm like, man, it looks like the field goal posts are a little wider this week.
Okay.
Right? So just see that as a vision in their mind.
And we'll wrap it up with Kelly. How do you wind down, especially after a game like Florida State when things just didn't go your way? How do you kind of flush it all out and get ready for the next one?
And just get right back to work. And I know that sounds kind of a little bit cliche. When you come back and it's 4 a.m. and you can't really sleep, and you just go right back into the office and you start grinding on another opportunity. Have you ever seen the movie Groundhog Day? That's coaching, right? No matter what you do, you wake up and it's 6 a.m. and the same song's playing, and you just got to go right back at it. And there's no other way to go about it. And like I said, I said it's on Monday, and some people take it the wrong way. I say it's on me, right? I'm the head coach of the program. I choose who's here and the players, and I take full responsibility for all those things. And you just own it, and you find ways where you can get better first. Okay, when we talked about learn from this game, I showed 3 different things that I would do as the head coach in the game. So letting the players know that, hey, I wasn't perfect in this moment. There's certain things that we wanted to do from my seat. So I think when you take ownership of it and you're really invested in something and you really want to see it be successful and grow, that you just go right back to it and you pick yourself back off the floor. And like Dev said, you just keep punching on a new week. And that's what we've done. Had a great week of preparation. excited for this opportunity for our team. Talk about, hey, we didn't respond to last week, but this is another defining moment. Someone asked, well, Coach, this is your first big adversity of the season. I was like, slow down. Kennesaw State, NC State, Georgia Tech, SMU, we've been a team of responders. And don't forget that and rely on that when this game gets tough again, like it will. Rely on that in that moment and believe that we're going to go get it done.
Coach, thanks for your time. Devin, thanks for yours. We'll be back here next Thursday night. Do it all over again. Hope to see you in Charlottesville. If not, we'll see you on
make the trip down. Can't wait to see the Deeks there.
We'll see you on the radio at 6 o'clock. For the coach, Stan Cotton, saying so long from Millers, and go Deeks.
Go Deeks.
You've been listening to the Jake Dickert Show on the Wake Forest Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show has been brought to you by Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist, the official healthcare partner of the Demon Deacons. A Legacy Federal Credit Union, the exclusive banking partner of Wake Forest football. The proceeding has been a Learfield presentation of the Wake Forest Sports Network.